actually made it here, huh? Or am I just imagining things? Right. Now check that cargo of yours. I have to say, very nice condition. You're pretty good at this porter stuff. Truth be told, been waiting a long time for this moment. But I always knew you'd come my way. Go ahead and use your Cupid to get me online.
Now displaying your current order grade.
All right. Connected to the network. Which means I can finally start fixing up this observatory. In case you haven't heard, we've been seeing an increase in chiral density in every region as the network has expanded. More instances of strange phenomena outside network coverage, too. And I've been told this is indicative of plate gate emergence. You know, after being alone all this time, I wasn't sure I'd be able to stay the course. Till you arrived with that life-saving cargo. Should be all set to hold down the fort now. Not exactly a one-man job, but I'll do my team proud. Oh, I've shared schematics for an oxygen mask with you. I'll help you stay active in areas where the air's thin. Personally, I'd recommend you wear one at all times when you're in my neck of the woods. Tar current fluctuations and whatnot. Mostly in the eastern part of the continent and elevated regions. Going forward, I'll also be paying very close attention to signs of plate gate emergence. Unfortunately, the chiral cloud layer has been gradually descending ever since I got here. Everyone was suffering from exposure, and I'm the only one who stuck around. You're the first friendly face that I've seen in a minute. You know, at high altitudes, on mountains, like this one, for example. And if you climb above the cloud layer, you've got even less oxygen to breathe. Saps your energy even if you're not doing anything strenuous. Over time, you'll cover less distance and be at increased risk of slipping and falling. It's a good idea to wear your oxygen mask to help you stay strong and sharp. Mother Nature won't show you any mercy around these parts. The biting cold and steep slopes will slow you down, or stop your progress altogether. Now would be a good time to make sure that you're fully prepared for the journey ahead. By the way, the aeronautical engineer who lives northwest of here just posted a sub-order for you. Seems something at the Ghost Mech factory's got him all hot and bothered. Help him out and he might hook you up with some useful gear. In any case, I hope you'll come visit me here again sometime. I understand it's a lot to ask folks to make the trip on a regular basis. But that's why I'm hoping I can offer you stuff that'll be of use in hazardous conditions like these. Keep on keeping on, man. And thanks again for all your help.
This is the President, Sam. Chiral network coverage has just passed the 75% milestone here in Australia. The next leg of your journey will take you to the southern part of the continent. Once the remaining regions have been integrated into the network, the manifestation of a new plate gate is all but guaranteed. Marshal your strength to overcome the final hurdles and make this continent whole again. We're all counting on you.
Sam, Rainy's not doing so great. It might be more of a mental than a physical issue, but I'm honestly not sure. Do you remember the doctor from the Motherhood? We think she should be able to help ease Rainy's anxieties. It was Tommen's idea. We already reached out, and she said we could come visit anytime. Since the Motherhood's within the Chiron network, we can use the Magellan to travel there. Once you've made it back to the ship, Just head to your private room and settle in. You can use the trip to catch up on sleep. But if there's anything you need to take care of before we depart, now would be the time to do so.
Sam, I'm contacting you via a different protocol. This private mode affords me a direct connection to you alone. It seems Drawbridge has reason to suspect that APAC may have been involved in the production of ghost mechs. This possibility concerned me as well, so I conducted my own investigation and reaffirmed that APAC's underlying technologies are iterations of an older Bridges framework. What I'm getting at, Sam, is that the guilty party is not APAC, but Bridges. Which is to say, the UCA may also have some involvement with ghost mech production. This would perhaps explain why firearms and other weapons have become commonplace on the Australian continent. The UCA's precursor, the United States of America, had a prominent gun culture. Though Americans first took up arms to liberate themselves from British colonial rule, they retained the right to bear arms so that they might defend themselves against future government tyranny. APAC has no such designs, of course, but Higgs has used factories to obtain weapons in an attempt to subjugate the continent through violent action. And so, the people of Australia have, in response, been forced to take up arms in self-defense. A distinctly American philosophy, and one which would appear to have spread to this continent. The more we seek to unite the people with metaphorical ropes, the more essential sticks seem to become. This particular situation is one that I feared might come to pass, which is precisely why I determined that it must not be the UCA, but a civilian organization which takes the lead in expanding chiral infrastructure. But if the UCA is indeed somehow implicated in these events, it may dramatically alter the calculus. I realize it must be vexing not knowing what to believe, Sam. Should I learn more, I'll contact you at once. For my part, I have a favor to ask. I must insist you not disclose that we've been in direct contact. There's no telling who may be involved with what at this stage.
Order completed. Well done.
You're on life then.
Sam. The DH-3 Magellan is currently docked near the Motherhood shelter. An escort arrived a little while ago to take Rainey inside. The doctor has requested to see you as well. Head on over whenever you feel ready.
Good day, Sam. Drawbridge credentials verified. Welcome, Sam.
Security measures lifted. Weapons detected. Be advised that usage is restricted inside facility grounds.
Welcome, Sam.
materials notwithstanding, I see you got here in a timely fashion. At one moment, while I confirm the cargo's condition. This cargo is in superb shape. You've done a wonderful job. Well now, this was not a delivery I was expecting you to bring to my door. I'm on the cusp of a breakthrough, thanks to you. Let's both continue to give it our all. Go ahead and connect your Cupid.
Now displaying your current order grade.
On the network at last, eh? I've been waiting for this moment for so very long. This should enable me to increase the pace of my research into new defensive solutions. As for the cargo you brought me, it's the culmination of the Phantom Smith's recent efforts. I applied a few finishing touches, and voila! I can now share with you the data for a chiral cannon. It is a devastatingly powerful weapon that can be mounted onto pickup off-roaders. You'll find it deals unparalleled damage to BTs as well as ghost mechs. Which might come in handy, since it's not just armed survivalists that have been sighted recently. It's ghost mechs too. It's hard to say, but Higgs might be up to something. So that's all the more reason to have weapons suited to dealing with his minions. Ideally, this cannon would only be effective against BTs and mechs. Unfortunately, though, such firepower is more than enough to kill any human outright, so please use it wisely. In addition, I'm happy to share some new pickup off-roader tires that will significantly improve its traction. You can swap them in and out as you like when customizing your vehicles. I highly recommend using these if you're planning to tackle a snow-covered mountain. In the wake of the Death Stranding, we've been witness to all manner of new and unknown phenomena. The research team to which I belong has worked to classify said phenomena, that we might determine which can be leveraged for practical applications. The Phantom Smith is also one of our number. The two of us shared a mentor, as it happens. The man responsible for developing the navigational systems of the DHV Magellan. His influence is largely why I study vehicles and related tech. We don't yet know why ghost mechs are able to operate outside of chiral network coverage, but we do have a working theory. And if the underlying principles of this theory prove true, we can take advantage of them. Fortunately, the cargo you've brought may well hold the answers to many outstanding questions. I strongly suspect we'll make rapid progress in the days to come, meaning you can look forward to even more new and exciting creations. It fires chiral particles at an extremely high velocity. Its considerable size makes it impractical to carry, so we've designed it to be mounted on pickup off-roaders instead. Whilst it needs a moment to charge before it can be fired, it boasts tremendous stopping power. And it will automatically track hostile targets, allowing you to engage with ease whilst driving. Giant BTs and ghost mechs are tougher than ever these days. It's truly unfortunate, but we have no choice but to rely on weapons of this caliber. A necessary escalation to combat Higgs and his forces. But I must also reiterate that due to the destructive potential of this cannon, it should never be used where humans may be harmed. Thank you again for your help. I'll be sure to continue my research into ghost technology in the days ahead. I intend to look into ways of ensuring we have greater freedom of movement with our vehicles, even in dangerous areas. Any assistance you can provide would be greatly appreciated. Oh, before you go, I have a parting gift for you. A gift I was instructed to give you by my mentor. This cargo will allow you to enhance the DHV Magellan's weaponry, per Tarman's request, I believe. I'll need some time to prepare it for transport, though. In the meantime, please avail yourself of the private room here. I'll be sure to post the order by the time you wake up. So, go on and have a good nap.
Sam, it's me. Our enemies have grown bolder and more aggressive, but I see you were all able to fend them off in the end. Chiral network coverage now stands in excess of 85% across Australia. We are already seeing indications of plate gate formation in the near future as well. Just a bit more, Sam. I know you and your comrades will finish what we've started. And to prepare for what's to come, I encourage you to rest in your private room. Be advised, Sam, that I've switched this call to private mode. We need to talk about Charlie. I reviewed the contract between APAC and Drawbridge and followed the money. By doing so, I was able to confirm that funding for Drawbridge was provided by none other than Bridges. Though they used intermediaries to obfuscate the transactions, Bridget is undoubtedly the source of your patrons' funds. In other words, Drawbridge cannot be considered as an independent civilian organization. Should these details come to light, your attempts to integrate Mexico and Australia into the Chiral network could be misconstrued as an expansionist effort. When I tasked Drawbridge with these missions, it was under the assumption that it was a non-government operation. But I, APAC, and you yourselves may have all been deceived. I will continue to pursue this investigation for now. Take this time to rest and recover in your private room.
Administering shock. Stand clear.
Just like old times.
Where are we?
This place does wonders for my mood. The repairs to the DHV Magellan are still ongoing, so I thought to return here and see if I couldn't make progress with our Lou investigation.
Learn anything new?
Well, at the Motherhood's facility, we managed to confirm that Lou's original serial number was none other than BB00. And this is what I found when I attempted to search for associated records. To build the Chiral network, 9 sacrificial BBs were prepared. However, the network's original design required only 1. A single sacrificial BB unit, facilitating chiral communications across the entire North American continent. This approach called for what was dubbed a core bridge baby, and BB00 was a lucky candidate assigned to play this role. However, Bridges subsequently abandoned the idea, their tests having failed to yield the desired results. And so it was that the model requiring multiple sacrificial BBs was ultimately adopted.
Meanwhile, Lou was placed into storage for an extended period, and for reasons yet unknown, inherited the identity of BB-28.
Records indicate that the Bridges research team was responsible for the reclassification.
Were they trying to cover up the earlier experiments by falsifying Lou's production year, perhaps? Or did Bridges have some other hidden agenda?
I'm afraid that remains unclear.
Well, we now know Lou was born 11 years ago. There may very well have been a connection with Neil.
You know, my fondness for this place isn't wholly nostalgic. It has the most delightful hot springs, you see. Though, truth be told, even they aren't my favorite thing about it. If you can find the time, you should come visit. Give the old bones a soak.
Oh, a warm bath does sound good.
Perfect treat for a weary traveler. Anyway, I'll see you aboard the Magellan.
Do you read me, Sam? This is Tarman. I've relocated my hand at last, out there on the currents, bobbing along like before. Now that our connection has been re-established, I should finally be in a position to wrap up repairs on the ship. But that won't be enough for what's coming. We need to improve our weaponry as well. South Fort Knot is home to an exceptional researcher. It so happens that they were instrumental in the construction of this fine vessel, and they're preparing the latest and greatest weapons for our use as we speak. Just a few more hurdles, Sam. Access the South Fort Knot delivery terminal and take care of the main order for me.
Thank you for coming. The after my child. You are the father.
Hello, Sam. Feeling rested and refreshed? I finished preparing your next delivery for you. The equipment to enhance the DHV Magellan's weaponry. You'll find it utilizes cutting-edge technology, the fruits of our recent research. Oh, and my mentor also asked that you deliver a hearty good day to Tarman. Anyway, take on the main order and pick up the cargo.
Sam, you'll forgive me for using our private line again. I did a deep dive into the DHV Magellan's provenance. While it is indeed a civilian vessel that has been retrofitted for this mission, the financing for that work appears to have come from Bridget's own accounts, just like the funding for Drawbridge itself. It would be fair to say that this would make it a government vessel, in effect. Charlie was involved in all of the relevant transactions as well. This only increases the likelihood that Charlie has connections to the UCA. Of course, it now seems likely that Charlie does not exist. In which case, these actions may have actually been the work of APAC. If everything, including the extension of network infrastructure, was simply a pretext for territorial expansion, then it's plain our company has made a grave error. Further investigation is warranted, but that will require a little more time, as will the DHV Magellan's repairs, for that matter. This is a delicate situation that requires caution, and we cannot afford to ignore the threat that Higgs poses either. As such, your best course of action is to continue to undertake main orders and prioritize linking up the remainder of the continent. As always, I will contact you if and when I learn more. Don't let us down, Sam.
Order accepted. Thank you.
Sam, it's Deadman. Hartman is away on the beach, so I've taken the liberty of borrowing his Ha again in his absence. I've also been making use of my own time on the beach to scour the UCA database for answers about BB00. As I told you before, it's much easier to get around their security from here. We previously thought that BB00 was placed into storage and reclassified as BB28, and that this was done by Bridges to conceal the existence of the Cord Bridge Baby program from the public. However, it turns out that information was falsified. And now we know what really happened. Bridges intended to decommission and dispose of BB00, but someone intervened behind the scenes. They ensured that BB00 was spared and sent to a storage facility where it received the BB28 serial number. Per the official records, however, BB00 was decommissioned, and Bridges had no reason to believe otherwise. So, who do you think was behind this deception? Well, I determined which account was used to manipulate the BB records. It was registered to a Bridges member with the highest level access permissions. As you may have guessed, Sam, it was the leader of the first expedition, Amelie. And she did it all just to protect Lou.
Welcome back, Sam. I see you come bearing gifts. Just give me a moment to check your cargo. Truth, Sam. This cargo's in flawless condition. You're in a class of your own.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
Here's a little something for you. Feel free to use it. We'll prep the main cannon for immediate use and look into making improvements to the other armaments as well. It won't be long now till the DHV Magellan is fully operational. Fragile and the others should be back soon too. Anyway, I'd better hurry up and see to the remaining repairs. Thanks again, Sam.
Sam, your next objective will also be your last. Terminal Fort Knott. To put them on the grid, you'll first need to link up the Southern Environmental Observatory. It's safe to assume that this final step will be the most challenging yet. For now, you should rest in the private room to ensure you're well prepared for what's to come.
Your service in transporting this cargo is appreciated. The delivery will be assigned to another porter.
Sam, the next site you'll be putting on the grid is the Southern Environmental Observatory. But there have been some developments. Armed survivalists have established a base in between us and the observatory, and they've also set up some chiral jammers. Now, we won't be able to proceed with our plans until they're out of commission. And that's not our only concern. Ghost mechs have been spotted in the region, and we have every reason to assume that they're making preparations to hinder our efforts. I'm afraid it's only going to get tougher from here on out. Once you've finalized your preparations, accept this main order from the delivery terminal.
Did you sleep well, Sam? Repairs to the DHV Magellan are now complete. We're ready for you to chart our next course. The main cannon is being fitted as well, but it'll take a while for it to be calibrated. I'll let you know when it's ready for use. Anyway, the new and improved DHV Magellan is now at your service. Finish off anything you need to do out there. Then prepare to continue expanding the chiral network. We're counting on you, Sam.
Sam, this is Charlie. Your next order requires that you accomplish two specific objectives. First of all, you are to proceed to the armed survivalist base and destroy all the chiral jammers you find there. So long as even a single one remains active, you will be unable to use your Cupid to link up the next facility. It is therefore essential that you remove this impediment before proceeding any further. Our latest reports indicate that there are hostiles on site who are equipped with electromagnetic shields. This would give them a significant defensive advantage, so engaging them head-on in a firefight may lead to a prolonged and difficult struggle. If you intend to go on the offensive, consider the properties of your weapons carefully before deciding which ones to bring with you. After you have destroyed all the chiral jammers at the enemy's base, head directly to the Southern Environmental Observatory. A contingent of ghost mechs has been sighted dangerously close to the facility. We need to bring it onto the chiral network before these mechs can get into position and prevent us from doing so. Once you've extended network coverage, the DHV Magellan can move there to provide support. There's no time to waste, Sam.
jammers to worry about. Let's head to the Southern Environmental Observatory. All these ghost mechs managed to make it this far. The facility is in danger. We need to eliminate them before they attack. Cover! Honestly, Sam, you're incredible. We should be able to connect the facility to the network now.
You're a welcome sight, mate. I'm sure we'd have survived if you hadn't shown up when you did. Let me check your order info. You fought like hell, mate. Thanks for the help. You know, I can't imagine what would have happened to this place if you'd never come along. I really can't. And now we can finally get on the chiral network. Connect that Cupid of yours. Connection established without issue. And that's a relief. Our staff have all been taking shelter underground on account of the emergency situation. But now I think we can relax a little bit. More accurate observations ought to help too. Speaking of which, we've detected abrupt chiral field disruptions in several locations. Indicative of plate gate emergence, I reckon. Keep expanding network coverage and we'll find out soon enough. Unfortunately though, the tar currents near our facility is still looking awfully rough, so we can't declare our emergency resolved just yet. The DHV Magellan won't be able to join you here either. It's gonna take some work to get to the bottom of this mess. And I'm afraid I can't do much for you given the circumstances, but I'll be sure to thank you properly later. Just know that we're all really grateful.